Hello and welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about Senior Helpers because Senior Helpers helps our veterans. And this is one more honor to bestow, reimbursed in-home senior care. We're going to find out more about that with the owner of Senior Helpers. We have Abigail Critchfield. Thanks for being with us today.
Having us.
Let's get real basic. What is the VA?
The VA is a national organization that can offer many things to our veterans. One of them is health care. Many of our veterans utilize the medical center in Lebanon, but there's some other services that they might not know about, and we're here to talk about those today.
Okay. There is also a mission statement too, isn't there? And
within the VA, there's many things that they look to fulfill, going back many years, taking care of the veterans, those who have served in our country and in the many wars that we've also had. And there's a few of them that they look at, and I think you have some of them that we might be able to read off there in your hands. They're looking at compassion, professionalism, being able to offer our veterans the care that they need throughout their life. There we have. So they're looking at many areas that we at Senior Helpers are also looking at: being compassionate, being professional, being accountable, as well as providing stewardship.
Well, yes, and the integrity, the accountability, and like you were saying, the stewardship. And you are so passionate about this. Why? What is it about this for you, Abigail?
Well, when we opened Senior Helpers here in our local area, beginning of the year, myself and my business partners were looking at how do we give back to the community, at the same time offering a wonderful service from a home care perspective, but veterans was something we knew we wanted to offer services to. So we have worked with Senior Helpers at a national level to look at this program, aiding attendance, and looking at how we might be able to offer assistance. Now, personally, my father, my grandfather have served during war, and the freedoms that we have today are because of those who have served, and that means so much to us, and we respect that and want to give back.
Yes.
And my business partners, their families, again, have been, served during wars, and we want to be able to give back the best that we can with our own talents and abilities. So.
Now, this is part of a national organization. It was started, what, in 2002?
Senior Helpers, yes, was formed in 2002. It is a national franchise with over 300 nationally, and we're so proud to be part of them.
Yeah, and how did that actually start?
Well, it started in Baltimore in 2002. The president and co-founder, Tony Bonacuse, was looking for the best care for his family. And when he couldn't find the best care, he simply made Senior Helpers, and we would hope to be the best care now today. And side note, Tony is also an Ephrata High School graduate.
Oh, really?
So we're very proud of him and from his roots. So he comes from Ephrata. Very proud of him.
And you are from Ephrata,
I'm
too.
born and raised, lived here my entire life. My husband is a high school graduate from Ephrata, graduated with Tony Bonacuse. So we're again, hometown, and very happy to give back and help any way we can.
Well, the core values are so important, aren't they?
Absolutely. And like I said, it coincides with what Senior Helpers stands for as well.
Okay. There's also a website for the va.gov too, right?
Yes, and all this information is available to all within the Veterans Administration. So yes, va.gov is a website that you can access all things veterans. And if someone needs a little bit more assistance with something specific, we're happy to help. But there's also service officers here locally. All counties in the United States has a service officer available to them, and we have information in our office if they need to know who theirs is.
So we need to know too that this is free.
Yes.
Yeah.
All these services are available to all veterans and their families. And so we welcome the questions and being able to give any response that we might be able to help send them in the right direction.
Okay. Now your website is what?
Yes. SeniorHelpers.com, and you can also / Lancaster County to find our individual site. But anyone who's watching this that might have another family member say, well, my mother lives here, or my mother lives there, SeniorHelpers.com is fine. You type in the zip code that you need service, and they'll take you to the most local office.
Okay. And then we can just pick up the phone and call you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Myself,
it's that easy, right?
It's that easy. We're a local number, again, here in Ephrata, and we're happy to answer questions. And again, if we can't answer it, we'll find the answer for you.
Yeah. And that's what I think is important too, because sometimes it gets frustrating, and I know especially with seniors too, and there's so much information out there, and sometimes misinformation too, that you want to find somebody you feel comfortable with that you can go over things.
Yes. And again, we hope to be that comfort phone call. We answer our phones. We always have a live person answering our phone. So anytime you might have a question, someone will answer our phone. You won't have to hit one to find us. Someone will answer.
Okay. And what's really important too is that there are benefits for our veterans. And to be able to take advantage of those when needed, because it is something that our veterans do deserve.
Absolutely, and it's not so much taking advantage, it's something that you've earned, and that's
Exactly.
how we sort of explain to that. It's an earned benefit. You have served us, now it's our time to serve you, and let's help look at this process and see how this might work for you and your family.
Okay, and this is great. I think you were talking earlier too for couples too, right?
Yes, this is available for married couples, as well as a veteran, him or herself, who might be single, as well as a spouse of a deceased veteran. They also qualify for this benefit. So the Veterans Administration offers that to the spouses.
Okay, so when we say this benefit, what
Yes.
exactly are we talking
Well,
about?
the benefit that we're focusing on, and we'll focus on a little bit more through today's session, is aid and attendance. So this was formulated back in 1954, so it is nothing new, but not many people know about it. So it's our mission and within our core values to let families know that they might have a little bit of help financially to take care of our loved ones when they need it most. And we're happy to be the people that they call.
So essentially what you are is you are a resource.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
You're the resource to get to what is there and what is available and what they so deserve.
Absolutely. And looking at the eligibility, and we'll go into more of that, but looking at, is this the right thing for me now? Or, maybe not.
Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to take a brief pause, and we come back, we're going to get more details. Stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about senior helpers, and if you are a veteran, you absolutely need to know about this. Abigail is here with us, and she is the owner of Senior Helpers. What is aid and attendance?
Aid and attendance is a special pension available for veterans as well as their surviving spouses that helps with non-service related disabilities. And some of those might be their ADLs, activities of daily living, bathing, dressing, being able to maintain their independence in their home, making meals, and monitoring their medications.
So, it really gets down to quality of life issues, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And something as simple as being able to tie your shoes or being able to have a healthy meal made for you rather than something that you're putting into the microwave really has overall health benefits. And that's where this service is able to, again, keep someone healthy, keep them at home. That aging in place is so important, and we're happy to help with that.
And what we need to once again reiterate, this is free.
Yes.
Just pick up the phone and call us.
Absolutely. Give us a call, and we're happy to talk about the eligibility as well as what benefits might be available to you and if this is the right time.
Yep. Now, what's interesting about some of these current facts, and I think it's important to talk about these, 1 out of 3 over 65 is a veteran or surviving spouse.
Especially here in
3.
Lancaster County. We see when we look at the sort of that heat map. It's we have a lot of seniors here in our local area.
There's 11.7 million wartime veterans entitled to the non-service connected with aid and attendance pension.
Yes. So there's this 11.7 million individuals who have that 1 day of wartime service. And the statistic is that only 3% are even aware that this is a benefit that's out there. So that's something that we hope to change within our senior helpers here in Lancaster County and our senior helpers nationally.
We need to pass the word.
We do.
That's what we're doing. We're passing the word, right?
right?
So 86% of all care provided in a facility is custodial. The same care can be provided in home, which is proven to be more cost effective,
Absolutely.
right?
Do we really need that full-time 24 hours a day care? Whereas if we're there, like we said, a few hours a day, help our veterans get dressed, their spouses, make a good meal, make sure that they've taken their medication. And this can also work well with families. Maybe they can provide a little bit more care, but so they don't need the full time. And we are able to sort of supplement that family care that they might need at home.
Additional current facts. Average processing time for non-service connected benefit is 120 days. Expound on that.
Yes, it takes a little bit of time for this to get processed. And if many of our veterans have, voiced their concerns about the amount of time that something does take to process. So there's so many factors that go into that. And we're helping our veterans every step of the way. But it might be different depending even on the time of year that you send your application in. The government does close for our special holidays and maybe a little bit longer than others. But this is something that we want veterans to know that, yes, it takes a bit of time to process this.
Okay, so keep that in mind.
Yes.
This is amazing. 10,000 baby boomers turn 65 a day, which equals 3,300 a day, and 99,000 monthly are veterans.
Yes, and we know those baby boomers are really just starting, and it's those baby boomers who are taking care of their parents. So when we said today about veterans need to watch this show, a lot of it is also the children, because they're right now the ones providing that
They're
care
the caregivers
to their parents. And we'll help with the caregiving and let them bring back the relationship with mom and dad as a son or daughter, versus every time they go over to helping with bathing and dressing and making those meals, they can come and visit and we can help with the caregiving tasks.
You know what I think really sounds good about this? It sounds like a really good support system, and it sounds like a great partnership.
Absolutely. We at Senior Helpers come in as part of the team. We don't come in and take over. We're there to do what's necessary and meet their needs every day.
Yeah. Current facts on wartime veterans, and my father is a veteran too, and I find this really interesting. Over 9 million veterans are over the age of 65. Wow.
And again, that's, and we look at the World War II veterans, and all those are the ones that we're servicing probably a little bit more frequently. But yes, 11.7 million.
Yeah, and then there's 7.8 million are from Vietnam, 2.8 million from Korean War, and 2.6 million served during World War II.
Yes.
Wow, those numbers are staggering too,
and,
aren't they?
and meeting all these individuals and having the conversations, and again being able to see where our freedoms come from what they've been able to do for us. And as we look at our Veterans Day and being able to offer our thanks.
So tell us exactly, what is this benefit that we're talking about that is available?
Now, aided attendance is the benefit that we're focusing on today, and it is an application to the federal government. It's nothing local, handled at necessarily the local VA. We're sending it into the federal administration. So it is a full application, and it can be a little daunting, the information that's needed. So we're helping to guide our families and educate them on what's necessary, even down to the forms that they need. There's very specific things that are called for in this application. But basically, they're looking at 3 points. They're looking for that day of service or wartime service, at least one day, and honorably discharged, of course. And then looking at medical components, looking at an ongoing medical illness that would require maybe assistance with getting dressed, getting washed, things like Parkinson's, dementia, macular degeneration, those types of ongoing medical conditions. And then the financial hardship that those diagnoses might cause someone, the financial hardship of bringing someone in and paying for them to come in and take care of them, or being in a facility, or going to adult day. All those things that require the financial backing can be very challenging to our families.
And this is really a nice monthly pension benefit.
The work that goes into the application process is worth it on the other end. Our surviving veterans and their spouses, the number for 2013 for that monthly direct deposit into their account is $2,053 a month that they can utilize to pay for their medical expenses, including their home care services.
That's great. And then for the veteran themselves,
$1,732. And then, of course, the surviving spouse, they can bring their monthly pension benefit is $1,113.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then there is an adjustment too for living. I guess that's what the 3 to 6% that one can look at.
Yeah.
Right?
So we say this is our numbers for 2013. We'll see new numbers for 2014.
Okay. Wow. So the whole process with this is something that we call you and connect with you, and you can lead us
Give us
through.
a call, and we're happy to talk about those 3 points that we mentioned: the day of war, the medical component, as well as the financial component. And we have some paperwork that they can fill out, and we'll look at that eligibility process and see where they're at. Is this something that they're eligible for now, and what does that mean? And maybe they're not now, and what does that mean?
And that's good to know, because then you can prepare.
Absolutely.
It's great to have the information, I think.
So we talked about looking at that medical component, but they may be managing it very well. They might have macular degeneration, but they're doing okay. They're still able to get dressed and make their meals. Maybe they're still even driving, but that's going to be a progressively get worse. Right. So when that time comes when they can't drive, and they're now more of a housebound status because of this illness, that might be the time then to step in and send that application in.
Great. Well, we're going to talk more about the application process and some more thoughts. Stay with us. Senior Helpers, that's what we're talking about today. And if you're a veteran, you absolutely need to know about this program. Abigail, tell me about, you have a client that you've been working with recently, the whole process. Tell me about that experience.
Yes, we have a client who started with us in January, and when Senior Helpers brought us this program in June, looking at what are the eligibility requirements for this, we certainly thought of her right away. We sent her some simple information to fill out that looked at those 3 key points, that her husband served during wartime, the medical component, and the financial hardships. She filled out that the application for us, the eligibility requirements, and we saw that she was eligible. And we started the very lengthy process with the help of her son, who's also her POA. And after a month or so of filling out paperwork and getting doctor's notes and financials, we were able to send that into the VA.
Okay.
And she did receive the benefit, the direct deposit into her checking account after 2 months.
Wow, she had to be pleased.
We were thrilled.
Oh,
All of us in the
yeah.
office did a happy dance for her.
How did she find out about you?
She found out of us by driving by. We're here locally in Ephrata
okay.
on State Street. So we were welcoming all who want to give us a call and talk about our connection here in Ephrata.
Well, I'm looking at some of these initial pre-qualification forms and that sort of thing, and they don't look daunting. I just want people to know that they look, easy to navigate.
It's 2 pages.
Yeah.
The first page is going to look at some of those components of, wartime dates to make sure we have definitely served during that time as well. And then the second page is going over some financials.
Okay. Now, Senior Helpers covers a lot of different things.
We do. This is one of our components when we look at everything that we've mentioned as far as offerings, the ADS, assistance with ADLs, bathing, dressing. We look at the personal care. So we hire caregivers to go into our seniors' home, any senior, not just a veteran, to offer the care that they might need. But we also offer a level of companion care for those who might need a little extra help around the house or driving to an appointment. And we offer weekly appointments with our caregivers who come, and we consistently try to have good caregivers on a weekly basis to come and help any way we can.
That's excellent. And your background
Yes.
makes a good fit for this.
I think it's a very good fit myself.
Yeah, tell us more.
I do have my master's degree in occupational therapy and have been treating for around 12 years now here locally in Lancaster County as well as some surrounding counties. And my focus as an occupational therapist is independence and where can we be the most independent. So I'm able to continue my mission of independence with families in their homes and offering training to my caregivers to offer the best care.
Yeah, that's so key. We're going to once again put your website up on the
Yes.
screen.
Yep.
What are we going to find on this website?
You're going to find a lot of information. First and foremost, when you come to our homepage, there's going to be an opportunity for us to call you back and to have that conversation. And when you call the office, then I will be able to set up a time and we'll get together and meet. I'll come out to your home. We'll have a conversation with yourself, your family members on is Senior Helpers the best fit for us now? And at that time, we can talk about service.
And it does start with conversation.
Absolutely.
Because that way you get to know what the needs are and they get to understand what is available.
Absolutely. And we look at care and comfort at a moment's notice. And sometimes that care and comfort is just the conversation that you have with us when you call us on the phone.
And speaking of conversation, you're looking at doing some educational sessions.
Yes. Because I'm sure there's lots of people watching this right now saying, well, what about this? Or I served during this time, or my family has this, is this something? So yes, we are going to offer public education sessions here locally in the Ephrata area. Look around Pearl Harbor Day.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So within the session itself, how do you see it structured?
And we've done actually 2 of these so far in the community. So we've tweaked our sessions based on the feedback that we're getting from our veterans. So we're going to look again at what is aid and attendance and then go through a little bit more detail of the eligibility requirements. But more importantly, you have the opportunity to ask questions.
Okay, that's so key. If someone is just joining us at the end of the show, let's make sure that you understand what we're talking about. We're talking about Senior Helpers, and specifically with this is what?
Looking at aid and attendance, the benefit that's offered to seniors or veterans who have served during wartime who might need a little extra help, maybe around the house because they're unable to care for themselves the best way and be the healthiest that they can be. So we'll offer those assistance with bathing, dressing, medication reminders, and maybe doing some driving to their appointments.
And basically what we're talking about is non-medical, correct?
This is a non-medical service, correct. So this is nothing that your medical health care will cover. And a lot of people do ask that question.
Yeah. And the criteria, again, is what?
We're going to look at eligibility, looking 1 day of wartime service, and again, we have those dates if there's a question. And with that comes, we need to hand in a DD-214 or equivalent, which again tells us that we're honorably discharged. And if somebody doesn't have their DD-214, we have information on how they can get that. So we'll help with that area. The medical component, looking at something that's ongoing, a medical diagnosis that's requiring them to care for themselves and has financial hardships. So within that component, we'll look at the income that we're receiving and what we're really spending. So each case is very specific, and we take each case then to our VA accredited agent, and they're able to look at those financials with us.
Excellent. Well, you and your team are very passionate about this. Tell me a little bit more about the team with you.
We have a wonderful team at Senior Helpers. Myself and my business partner, Becky, are day-to-day in the office. I also serve as client coordinator, so I'm the one who will go out, as we mentioned, to our individuals' homes, have that conversation on what the needs are and what are the expectations of someone coming into your home, because we each have a different expectation of what that might be. And interestingly enough, it might be different from the son or daughter to the senior themselves, so we try to kind of bring us all to one page and look at what we can and how we can help. So we also have other individuals in our office. We have Penny and Christine, who are there to help us in any way we can. They help with our scheduling, with getting our information out, as well as answering questions when anybody calls.
What I think is really important, I think all of our lives, whether it's a friend or relative, have been touched by someone who is a veteran.
Absolutely.
And we all have appreciated the service that they have done for us and for our country. And what this program is just another way of thanking and honoring our veterans.
And we feel the same way. Again, our time and talents, we're happy to go through this very lengthy process with our clients to give them the benefit that they have earned and deserved. And if we can be just a small part of that, whether it's having them receive the financial deposit each month, whether it's with our care or continuing on, this is a lifetime benefit that they will continue to receive until they no longer meet maybe their requirements. Somebody wins the lottery, they're not going to give you any more money.
There you go.
So we're happy to help all along the way and answer questions and be that resource.
And I think this is great for the baby boomer who's taking care of the senior as well, because we all need help when we're navigating something that's a little bit confusing and out of our realm of understanding. Yeah. Thank you for being there.
Thank you.
For what you're doing. This is wonderful. We're going to put up on the screen the websites. You can get all the information there and how to contact Abigail and her team, Senior Helpers. It's all for you veterans, and we so do appreciate you. Thank you for your service. Thank you today for giving us information. Yeah. We'd like to say thank you to Flowers by Paulette for the beautiful flowers here on our set, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, and remember, keep looking behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.